Well, it's not going to be a sweet December for Zebediela Citrus Estate workers. They've reportedly been told to stop coming to work this week. This as the farm is experiencing challenges, including declining demand for citrus on the global market. Well, the farm, which spans over 3,000 hectares, was reportedly once one of the largest citrus exporters in the southern hemisphere. But where does this then leave the workers? We're joined now by Mayoyo Mngomezulu, who's the General Secretary of Food and Allied Workers Union this morning. Mayo, thank you for your time and good morning to you. This is quite a very serious decision here affecting hundreds of workers. Before we get into the impact this has on the workers, where did the problems at the Zebediela Citrus food farm actually begin?
You can trace to Melo these problems and the crisis that have been entrenching in that company from when the process of giving the company to
I seem to have lost you.
of Zebediela through a process of.
You can continue, Mayoyo. I can hear you now. I had lost you there for a second.
Yeah, through a restitution program of the government. That's when the problem started years ago, where the company has been rumors of a mismanagement insofar as how the company has been arranged, and as well as the role that have been played by a criminal property association that manages that company on behalf of the communities, insofar as not company are being run well in making sure that it's become productive and the beneficiaries do receive the dividends. That has been where the problem has been. For some time, people have been employed to assist and manages that particular farm, but really we have not been seeing any progress insofar as the sustainability is concerned. That's where the problem have started emanated to Bello.
Yeah, and throughout that time, while there were solutions being sourced to assist with the farm, did the Provincial Agriculture Department ever get involved? Did they try to intervene?
They've intervened several times, but one of the problems that the government have been doing, including the Provincial Agricultural Department, they've been sourcing funds to inject in making the company to survive, but they've been doing less in making sure that the management of that company is becoming a perfect management that does not be involved in malfeasance, that ends up making sure that the finances of the company that have been invested are able to be saved so that that company become productive and sustainable. That's one area that have been missed. Hence, the investors that came at the same time happens to leave because that company was starting not to be productive because it was not managed well insofar as our as a union we are concerned as far. We have been seeing that company, for example, to Melo, for your information, when this company was sold to these communities, the workers were given 15% shares as the workers of that company. But the current Bajadi Communal Property Association pulled those workers out of those shares and they distributed those shares amongst themselves and the investors. As a result, workers didn't have any say anymore in terms of how that company is run, but as employees. But hence previously they were given shares, become at least a voice in the management and the board of that particular institution.
So if I'm correct, Mayoyo, the workers are now told not to report to work. Do we know for how long they would be out of work? I mean, surely there should be some sort of communication here because it does impact hundreds of workers that depend on this income to survive.
We can confirm that the union did not even receive a communication in relation to this particular issue, despite representing close to 297 workers in that particular establishment. We only received the calls from workers that were saying that the management or the board is convening a meeting. I think it was around the 21st of November, which is 2 weeks ago, that there's a meeting. We've dispatched our own official to be part of that meeting, which was presented and addressed by a guy called Mr. Dion Haynes. Mr. Dion Haynes was just informing the union and members that as a result of the investor who now have pulled off in that particular company as of the 1st of December, there are no salaries are guaranteed and check of bonuses that are expected by workers during this time of December, as we have said, that the workers were so demoralized to find that they are not going to be able to have this festive season with their salaries and bonuses. And this is what is disheartening to the union, to Melo. Hence, we have taken the matter to the CCMA. One of the issues that we are trying to do is to force the employer at least to honor its contractual obligation of paying the salaries and the bonuses to these workers. But you see that the crisis is so huge because the management have all made it clear, or the board have made it clear, that if the investor does not come to the party, there's going to be a problem of a closure, meaning workers have been told not to report to work as from the 1st of December with no guaranteed payments. You can see that there's a crisis. If
Right.
there's no intervention made to that company, we have a crisis.